G'day guys, welcome back in my shed, I'm VC. It's time to fit the first item up to the cylinder grinder, give it a bit of a go. I've made the drawbar up with the internal plug to go into the end of the spindle, a nut on the end and a hacksaw slot for a screwdriver just in case I need it. Now I've been inside the taper and over this taper with a rag spanner. Make sure there's no oil leaks, but also to get any grit off. We'll mount that up. I've got the power on the unit, so we'll set the workhead in motion and see what sort of run out we can get on the shaft. We'll see how little run out with some luck. Well, it looks like I guessed the right length. But, no, it's not picking up. The chuck's being tricky, it's falling out. Sorry, such a good backhand. Not much choice in the shed. And lucky I put a screwdriver slot in it. This is not getting very exciting, is it? Okay. Well, there's that part done. You know, I've got 3 or 4 ER32 chucks and all of them had the different spanner. All of them work. Okay, we'll set this up and then I'll bring you in. We have a few checks to do on this end. That's about right. Okay, I'll bring the camera in now. Okay, I've taken the collet nut off, so I'll start up the workhead and see what sort of reading we get. Let's hope it's a reasonable one. Nope, she's kicking around. Not a good spot, you old goat. Nope, it's sagging down. Right, up a bit. Well, bugger me, that's what I like to see. And that's not what I expected. There's probably about half 100, if that. Well, that's got me pleased. Okay. No, I can't get you over far enough for that one. But that's coming out at 100th of a millimetre. That's inside the taper for the collet. So I'm reasonably pleased with that. A few more checks to do yet. Get rid of this fella. The working check's the important part. Of course, a lot will depend on how much the cutter's been butchered during its working life. And using spanner number 71, just nip it up a little bit. Okay, we'll try it again and hope it all doesn't fly to pieces on me. Bring you back out a little. Okay. That's what it's seated in the collet. That's showing about 300th. Not really good. We'll try that one. That's substantially better. It's showing just under 2/100ths of a millimetre, which is getting closer to acceptable. I would like better if I could, but at least is a good start. Now I'll put a smaller cutter in, check that. I've got to run the coolant system and a few other bits, and then I'll bring it back and we'll try a bit of grinding. Okay guys, by turning it in a collet to alternate positions and retightening, I got it down to about 100th of a millimetre, and I find that's acceptable. We would all like better, but we have to get used to our equipment and get to know it first. But yeah, first test on the equipment is good, and that's the chuck that cost me, I think, $38 from M&G Production, so I'm quite happy with that. I will do a bit more indicating. I'll put a test bar in when I get one, and also I've got to check out not just concentricity but angularity, I think it's called, whether it's bloody crooked or not. But no, quite happy with that so far. Now that's quite a good shot, showing probably 1.5 hundredths. I've gone to a smaller cutter, and one of the main reasons I got this machine is there's a reasonable market for 16.5mm and odd sized cutters that you can't buy off the shelf. And the last one I had reground by somebody else for me, they just ran the edge of the flukes along the bloody linear belt and botched it, and I was really embarrassed giving that to the customer. And I got charged $29 for it. Holy God. But at least I should be able to make some reasonably accurate parts. Okay guys, this is dressing the wheel. We're going to give it an in feed of about 4/10 of a thou, which is what's recommended in the book. That's for a coarse dressing. Keep your nose out of alignment with it. almost nothing to hear. The machine is just that rigid, it's not phased by the operation. Okay, bring you back when something more exciting happens. Well, there it is, fellas, freshly dressed. You can see all the grain, very aggressive. The bond has been broken out between the grains. I'm not familiar with this wheel. I'm thinking it might be a seeded gel with the colour of it, but from experience it does perform very, very well. Okay, time to put the nose bag on. I'll go over and have a feed and come back, put a cutter up and attempt a little bit of grinding. I couldn't understand why there were splash guards needed behind the machine, but by Jesus, if I'll give the radial arm drill a good bit of a wash by not having the coolant pointing the right way. Bring it back soon. There you are, guys, a close up of cylindrically grinding an annular cutter. I'm only feeding in a tenth or two at a time. I'd say the cutter was about 1.5 hour out of concentricity, because that's how much it took to get it up and squeaking on all flutes. There you have it. That part of the cut's done. Let's see what the cutter's like. That's about as good as I can get it. That looks absolutely lovely. And I should have had the light on. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's very nicely done. Well, it took a lot of scaredy cat creeping up to the position, but it just cut so freely. I did dress the wheel, and when I originally used the grinder, the grinding head was about 1.5 degrees off zero. So I zeroed the grinding head, had to dress about 15th thou off the wheel to get it flat. But that finish is just superb. I'll let the wheel dry out, turn it off, and I'll give you a closer look. There you go. I hope that leaves you as impressed as I am. Well worth the effort to set up, but I've got to say this, it's going to take me a long while to get used to the machine. It's a little piss farting around like a scaredy old boy, but I suppose that's how you keep your ears on. Okay, bring it back in the seat. Well guys, hats off to me. A nice shiny cutter and everything's working well. I just realised I do have a lot of cleaning up to do. I dare not leave my collet chuck full of coolant over the next 3 or 4 days. It'll have a nice big growth in it as it comes back. And I'm surprised I don't have the horrible smell I expected in soluble oil, especially in the Queensland climate. It's hot and muggy here. So I do expect to get it at some stage. A mate of mine throws a bottle of Dettol in the tank, so I think I might give that a go. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed the show. Put your comments or questions down the bottom and we'll give them an answer. Bye for now.